Almost lost it there. And there I lost it. Hi everyone, it's Natalie with designtothernines.com, and today I've got another great project to show you. And I'm gonna start by doing a feature wall right here. It's in my entryway. And I have reached out to Cutting Edge Stencils because I've worked with them in the past. I really love their selection of stencils that they have. And it was really hard to decide, but I picked out this ikat? You say tomato, I say tomato, whatever. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a pretty cool design. And I am gonna be doing that on this wall. And you can see that the underneath color is kind of like a off-white creamy color. It's eggshell. And I'm gonna be doing a navy blue to kind of mimic the look of this pillow, which is in the neighboring room. So, additionally, I like to use two different sheens of paint to also amp up the effect. So the navy blue will be a satin, and the current wall color is an eggshell. So that will just amplify the look. Some of the supplies that we're gonna need are a paint tray, a stippling brush, a foam roller, and of course the paint. But Cutting Edge Stencils sends this cool tool. You attach it to the top of the stencil just to make sure that you've got it level, and it's just a leveler. So that's the supplies, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm ready to start my stenciling for my feature wall on my ikat. I looked it up, I know I'm such a nerd, but I was saying it right the first time. And I'm ready to start. So I've started it in the obvious choice in my mind, which is the upper right-hand corner. And I've leveled it off and I've taped it on there. And to protect the edge, since I'm right on the corner, I used my favorite blue painter's tape. So I've got my stippling brush, and I'm going to use that close to the ceiling just to, so I don't accidentally bump navy blue paint on the ceiling. So I'm just going to stipple that in very carefully. And then when I get a little further down, I'm going to use the roller. You don't want to use too much paint. You want it to be closer to dry than anything, but you do definitely want to have paint on there because you don't want it to be, so you just gotta find a happy medium. If you're not sure, find something to practice on. Okay, so let's see how it did. Awesome. I am so excited about this. Let me get out of the way so you can see. So we're going to just repeat the pattern, and we'll let this dry for a second, and then I'll put up the next stencil and we'll keep going. And I am so stoked based off of this result. Okay, you guys, I've come to a tricky spot, and so I wanted to stop here and make sure that I showed you how I work around this. So I've got a doorbell here, and it's really the only place in the whole wall that is going to be tricky. There's like a couple spots, but this is a tricky one because it sticks out of the wall. So I'm going to show you how I get around that. I'm using my favorite thing, that blue painter's tape. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. But now this is somewhere where I would use painter tape, and that's just to protect the area so there's not navy blue paint all over it. So let me show you how I'm going to work around this. So up top where it's flat, you're gonna, obviously do it as normal and just roll it on and work it in really good. Okay. So we're doing that just like we normally would. So that looks good. So now to the tricky part. I'm gonna pull out my stippling brush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tuck the stencil. It's really tricky, so you wanna hold it down as flat as possible, and then tuck it and fold it. And then we're just gonna stipple in that area, okay? And use our stippling brush. Your fingers are probably gonna get a little bit of paint on them, but that's what we're gonna do in these tricky areas. So we're gonna do the best we can around those areas. If we have to come back later with the other color and do some touch up, that's gonna be just fine. So I'm gonna work on this for a minute and you can watch me as I go. This will honestly be the one that takes, the area that takes me probably the longest, and everything else will go by super fast. Okay, so isn't it looking so great? I am so happy with how this is turning out, but I wanted to take a second and tell you a little bit about my stencil. Now, isn't it looking really clean? That's because after you use it for a while, it starts to gunk up with some paint and all of that. So you're gonna wanna just get it wet. It will come off really easy. It will just pull right off, rinse it off, let it dry, and then it's good to go again. So I just wanted to tell you about that. Okay, so as part of the design of the stencil, and also probably for stability, there is a line that goes through each one of these points. Now I'm putting on my paint a little heavy on purpose because I want it to be a little bit thicker. And so, and in addition, I've just decided I want the filled in look. So what I'm doing in these sections is I'm just taking my stippling brush and filling those areas in, and this is just because this is the look that I'm going for, and it's just as easy as that. Okay, so I'm done with my project, and you guys, I'm in love. It turned out exactly how I'd hoped, maybe even better. And it just makes everything in my living room make sense. It pulls it all together and just adds a pop that just is gonna, I just love it. Anyway, so this again was the ikat zigzag stencil from Cutting Edge Stencils. They have a huge selection. You're sure to find the perfect stencil for your wow factor in your home. And for more great project ideas, make sure you follow me on all of the major social media sites. Make sure you check out my website, designs9s.com, and thank you so much for watching.